The class teacher is supposed to advise the head teacher and the parents of the students' performance and discipline. Whenever we have the class meetings, like we are going to have them in January, senior, as we begin senior 6 now, senior 4, all the class teachers are there. In quite normal working situations, you are supposed, when you ask an issue concerning discipline, the headmaster cannot know 4,300 students. Because I use a decentralized system, I expect the class teacher to know and to answer. When you are going to the disciplinary committee, when you are discussing a matter about a student from a class, actually, before you make final decisions, find out if the class teacher is involved. The requirement will be the class teacher is involved, where the students come from. The question is, does this teacher know where the class is? And if he doesn't know, how will he guide a particular student? We are supposed to give guidance and ABCD references. Hey, this student is like this, and so on and so on, so forth. So this is quite very important. The other issue is about a class teacher to keep the records of students' academic performance. That's why you will see a skill of computer. At this point, when you are having the marks that you are filling in, we are not telling you that you have the file for students. When you are given marks by the teachers, wherever they are coming from, keep a record. When there are mistakes on the system, who corrects that? What is the fallback position? You look for the class teachers list, and if you are going to advise the parents, teachers, you build a case by showing the column of the students, how they have been performing, because you have records. This is what we used to do when we are still in class. You would follow up with students and see how a student used to perform. You get my point? And you are able to see it. It's okay, I want to get it. Then you follow on what happens. So the record here can never be kept by the DOS. This is really about exaggerating the matter. When we talk about keeping the records of the students' academic performance, it's not a matter of the DOS. Yes, he has it, let DOS GGO. Who gave it to her? When you give it to her and you lose the data. And when you say, why did you disturb the head of department? Who's supposed to have this? Instead of Max Zaban and Senior to bring. So let me keep it. I am asking those, do they have it? And check them. When you are going for academic committee that you check, you perform, you are wasting people's time. The head of department would liaise with the class teacher to see the performance, and teacher will submit accordingly because they have facts. Yours not to take it all, not to speak about it. You are supposed to check. And I told you why I've not been sharing with you, because I don't want to associate myself with anything disorganized in my life. I hate that. I talk about the discipline here. The career mistress and school counselor to advise the students on subject combinations and options at that point. This can only happen if you have been following up with the students, right from the beginning, right from everywhere, and then you go on and so forth and what have you. It doesn't end there, but I'll show you something else where you need to get the money at a given point. You talk about the issue of discipline here, that you liaise with other teachers on performance and discipline of the students. This one I've talked about it. You find that Madam Abiba overrides and she finishes it all. Madam, all of you. These students belong to all of us. Consult all the stakeholders. Yes, I'm aware. Some will be defensive and protective, but it doesn't matter. The recommendation is yours, because at your stage you make a recommendation. And the decision is mine. The beauty about your experience is that when you bring all the proceedings, it takes me less than a minute to know that there is a fault in the procedure. And that's why sometimes I send back the decision, that I will say, no, I need ABCD. Because the circle was not completed. You are supposed to involve the class teacher, but ask Madam where mistakes are. Do these teachers have knowledge, have love, have attitude, positive attitude towards the learners? Do you see where I started from about the attitude? The car is seated on a flat tire. Regardless of how new it is, the child is new in school. But this teacher has pierced the tire and the child cannot go anywhere. How are we going to avoid crashes? How many times have we seen our people suffering? And ourselves suffering. Do you know where they come from? I have heard when women are breastfeeding and the child bites the nipple, then they tell you, and if it's a girl child, continue biting it. But the good thing also coming. They bite yours and you hear. That's what you do. I talked about the fresh brain, subconscious mind, fresh mind. The child has come in school. You have pierced the flat tire, the girls, the person is seated. Yours is to ask government to give us more money to Asoma. Allowances are delayed. It's not me. It's not about something, but you're not committed and you don't love what you do. Now, the Baganda people say, Okariada Kaurati. Ebintu bino we inherit them in our families because our attitude towards other people's children has not always been good. So you continue visiting the neighborhood, you see. And you have what you call the transferred excuses. You see, Sengawa didn't want me. You see, Sengawa cursed me. The mistakes you have made committed somewhere else. You are given responsibility and you never executed. You ate money that you did not work for. They gave you thousands of people before you. You deliberately and intentionally destroyed them. And for you thought you had produced queens and kings. You'll find them rolling like Gabigal. That's why we appreciate the power of the Lord. You talk about the issue of general. You are the first implement of rules and discipline. Regulation. That's why when you get a student, a class teacher where that student comes from is supposed to be there, and you get a challenge that the teacher or class teacher is seeing the student for the first time. I'm aware about that, but those are some of the challenges we do have in this case. You're supposed to be in charge of the head counting. Head counting is not only for the Ministry of Education and Sports, but even when you go to roll call to know how many people are there, you must task the class teachers. Do you task them? There are ways when you move as if for a twist and then you come to tell me like this. And smile and you say the man is very happy because of the report. I told you, you can never know when I'm smiling, when I'm laughing, and when I'm happy. Because immediately you go, I made background search. Did you wrote this? No. Did you wrote this? No. So I tell them, keep on record. One day I'll disprove you. And you'll be embarrassed before the learners. Because you are not honest. You sit in your computer. I gave you an example of one of the teachers who forged the marks. Together your assistant. And then you bring me, and then you get me excited. I mean, there's a time you gave me a class. These people know, and I sent somebody to interview. And I got complete, not once, not twice. I don't need to see you every time. I just need to sample. The moment you give me a report and you go, I can never conclude. I make a follow-up. So I say, okay, go in this class and count. Some of the students here, my friend, count for me the students who are there. They count me, they bring something, and you give me something. And then you think I've finished because I've written to him. Okay, continue behaving like that, you see. Then in charge of head counting, that's what I've said. Because sometimes when you're taking a roll call, I know students have registered electronically if they have. When you physical, you do this, we call it head counting. And ensure that classes which have properties are secure. These include the properties like the furniture, the seats in this class. Not a matter of students just breaking and you really say, the little money that people would have eaten, it ends up being taken into something. And also, regulating students don't just jump on items, furniture, and then do things of that nature, and then you see what you can do. And another issue, that is what is required of them. Their major purpose here is the same, as I told you, and the remuneration monthly is that as clearly stated. So competences and skills, Mr. Campbell went them through. Mr. Campbell told them the competences and skills.
Confidence and counseling schemes. Guidance and counseling schemes. How do you talk about confidence? I also know that took the word confidence. So it's guidance and counseling skills as one of the competencies which you must have.
Give examples. Now we're moving up. He was talking about
Please, you must guide the students and also counsel them where they have some issues. You have also psychological skills, these ones you know very well. Good communication and interpersonal skills, all the competencies which you must actually have. Computer literacy skills, if you don't have the computer skills, we still heavily. It's going to help you at least to know the word. Is it?
Tell them I even sell them. Tell them that even those that are in need of gadgets, I sell them.
Yeah, instead talking about if you have some things you want from computer, talk to Mr. Henry, can help you. He has the computers, he can send them to you. Like for example, now purchasing a laptop from him, but you can allow some insolvents. Please be computer literacy. Financial management skills. Excuse me, I'm the one talking. When you want to talk, you raise up your hand, I allow you to talk. Now, we talk about financial management skills. Yes, you must have discipline as far as the finance is concerned. Don't begin taking the student money in your classes before the management allows it. Otherwise, you're going to cause problems for yourselves. For example, if you want to buy, for example, a notebook, it must go through the teacher's office. If he allows, that's when you can now ask for money from you, from the students.
That is something to do with finance.
Financial management skills.
What do I mean?
To have discipline as far as my money is concerned.
Give me an example appropriate.
Don't pay the student money. Yes, right.
Yes, borrowing and not giving it back the money.
Exactly. So the student can even give you the money to keep and then for you make it yours.
Very enough for you, I'm giving a good example. We have teachers who don't have discipline and they start borrowing money from students. And when the students demand for the money, they turn into very serious bitter quarrels. they start treating them, you know, man, what kind of level is this? Others even tell them to tell their parents to assist them. Omanyi, my dear colleagues, these people, they score us and they rank us. When you stand before the students, never make a mistake of thinking that you are more brilliant than them. They are actually more intelligent than we are. They can know where we have told them lies and all those. But the point is, these skills I call for them because you need them in your management, in your leadership, in your everything. As I explained them, I have talked much about the human resource management skills, and I've told you, put your attitude right because you're going to manage human beings down there. And they are very hard. Curriculum development, record keeping, I've explained. Comprehension and interpretation, I have done. Public relations, you need it. Supporting the special needs students, you need that one. All those skills you see there, I am just telling you that you need them if you need to do that work very well. Those ones, we call them skills and competences. They are coming from the talent, they are inbuilt, the ability. So, all those can come if you have a well-developed attitude. All those can come if you know that what you are doing is a job that you love. You will motivate yourselves, you'll be creative, you'll be innovative, you'll be so many things, and eventually you get up there. Am I communicating? So, Madam Raniero, these people are below the head of the department. Their jobs are those. For you to supervise them, you must have a schedule. When you have a schedule, what are you doing? You are managing time, but time is not managing you. You know which day you are having the meeting for class teachers. When you meet them, what are you going to talk about? Out of their duties, ask about discipline, ask about record, ask about something, and first brief your people that we are meeting class teachers, we shall have this, the schedule is very clear. I don't even see where you have time for gossiping with all those duties. Now this forms your diary. This forms your time that you are talking about, time management. If we don't put a framework into this, time will manage you. How does time manage you? It manages you by coming at school, you gossip, the whole day ends, you go back telling the people at home you are very tired. To go in, what has been happening at school? They are in you. Do you want? We have made for getting trouble and make work. Omuntu asinze okulemwa byo yasooka okulaba balemeddwa yaba yalemwa mulamu kubanga yo omulimu gwe to do that after failing to manage him or herself. So for you to be a class teacher as it is, you organize yourself there. I have already told you these are the same issue. At a degree level, administration at the ministry is a key issue. I have already told you about exposure, workshops. You need to give exposure. There is nothing important in life than being exposed. Therefore, when you see a workshop which is somewhere, you don't need even for the money, for the head of school to release the money. You will ask for the reimbursement, but as long as you have time, enrich yourself. Don't waste a lot of time on these other issues that I see. Invest a lot of time in you, and don't take a lot of time outside yourself. Add value in you, so that you really do somebody can only do. You will only do such if you really love what you are doing and something of the sort. I think over there, I finished. Now, having brought you at the same footing, the class teacher and the head of department, I now want to show you the duties of the, let me ask you a question. Have you seen anything related to the head? Not even related, not anything. Kati, if I need a head, because all this one is a teacher, I am busy looking around. Who can be in this department? Who can head this? The other time I was discussing with Prosper, that you see, Prosper, when you leave this headship, I have issues with this department. And I talked about, why? Because I know, and I know people who are there. And these are the people you are leading. If you don't become very careful, backwards. Because when direct supervision, when direct contact, you see them and what have you. I remember when I was working with my sister Jane, she used, many times she used to come in the office when she always crying with teachers. And then I used to laugh, I would first look at her and I laugh, what's the problem? So she would tell me a passion. This one, they said, now, Jane, relax. They give you a bottle of water. What is the problem? What did you expect from this person? Actually, if they are not stable, they don't have a job. Do you think you are my job? The only thing I need to prove is my competence to do the job. That's why you see them. When somebody says, I don't want to attend this meeting, is it me to listen to you or you to listen to me? I never work with a sleeping dog. When you find a person working a dead body, believe that this person must be having something medically wrong. How many times do people move and they've forgotten that they are moving dead bodies? Even the Bible stated it. Without a vision, people perish in the book of Proverbs. If I discover that you don't have any vision, I call you to a vision and you fail to wake up, what happens? I don't need to stretch a lot because I'll get issues. So that is that. Now, these are the roles of the doors. Now, we do not, here in this school, we don't call this person the director of studies. If Mr. was here, and I think he didn't give it to him, he would have displayed my organogram and would have seen the way how this school is set up. But this is the time I would have used to show it. You see, in addition, you have it? Okay, you bring it and I'll show you, but I want to move very fast. Below the deputy head teachers, the 4 people I put there, all of them, they are heading big departments. So, those departments below are directorates. A department which has more than enough clusters, see the student department becomes a directorate. Are you getting it? So those people we see they are heading ABCD. And below them there are quite a number of people. They are directors. We have one for personnel who is doing nothing before me. We have one for academics whom we are supposed to support. I have always asked, how are you sweating every day, moving up and down? You actually doing, if you knew what you are doing, you would be doing endless work. The problem is that once you're a mechanic, in fact, I should teach you by use of this example. Who has ever known the difference between a mechanic and an engineer? you usually see them. A mechanic and an engineer. One of the features is very clear. Mechanic, I know kwesiga footer, I know kugwa mutaka, I know kulaga everyone. You get it? The engineer comes with the overall and puts there, and it tells the mechanic, go down and try. Mechanics many times go in to the life of gambling. An engineer is much more technical. Asonga ko busuli nagati. Oleza nyweza targets. Siye oleza na ule ntokota. Na duty ndio byamugamba nti tokota weti byo position. Fine tune here. Oyo musenya ka bo walisinga yetu kulanga yetu kulanga. Ngasiba nati. Have you seen that? Kakati they have assumed those responsibilities. You're a mechanic, you call yourself an engineer. Tomorrow, can you jump as over by the place of one and then engineer? This is a very big title. An engineer must speak from the point of engineering shooting. For those who are managing in the factories, the industries, Bamuleta. It doesn't take a lot of time. Start the machine. Now release up. Stop. Okay. Shall handle. I'll send you the mechanism to handle. Now see, Baba says, "You can't work. Oh, wait, it's good." Now you're a consultant. Now this one has been a mechanic for a long time. Even in football, we have those we call mechanics. And we have all over to a mechanic, you may say mechanic. Then he has skill. Are we there? So what you want to become as a person? Importantly, we need both. But engineering has elements of gambling, game of game, komao. You are supposed to only regulate these people. And when you regulate them, we see what can be done at a particular time. Thank you. Now, when you look at this directorate, as you see, enlarge it. I told you, below these people here, I am creating them into directors. Because they can never go to the deputyship. And you can see, below them they have very many people. So we have the director personnel, we have the director, this one I want to call him, now because I want to describe him as a caterer, because welfare I think is sounding too big. Yesterday I was embarrassed. I was from so I am trying to reduce, but below this person would have been, all these people you see here, they would be directors because below them there are other departments. So they are heading departments which are big, and therefore, by standard, they would be directors. Now, these people are supposed, you need to understand this organ properly, especially issues to do with this one and the other one. There is that bit of assistance and the correlation between this one. Sometimes some of them I fear to let them independent. That's why you see this one. And it was not a mistake. Nakasi needs to be supported, like it or not. She has not yet reached the level of standing as an independent person. When you ask me someone, I have these issues. So I pair them up here. But with now you have this one, Nancy Namuta, to be independent. Moment of it was a joke, neither. Nani mani member branch. Then there was the Onani. Nani Sila Gungana, Nay, and Sleepy. Nay, So, I addressed that to the culturer. She's around there and ABCD. In a sense, these people are supposed to be directors down here. Below them, there are people whom they are supposed to use very well to help them. But you know what happens? They are shown for responsibility and they end up doing something. Now, if you look at the duties of the DOS, as I want to look at them, you will see that her duty, it is not similar, but they are guidance duties. You take me to the directorate. And then we see that what we need to do, we need to know what we are doing. Head academics. Now, all these people, they are supposed to pick their assignments. The academics, do you have that? Yeah. Now, the head academic directorate, or director of academics, these are the issues that I assigned to. One, she's supposed to be the head of all the academic programs in this school. To have that, she must have drawn her own shape. Did you know that? And when you become the head, you don't go beyond the headship of the headmaster. That's something you need to understand. Now, role number 2 for this lady is to be the chairperson of the academic clubs and co-curricular committee or academically related clubs. Ask her, when did you have a meeting with the chairpersons of academic clubs? You end up conflicting and getting into issues which are not there. But are they not there? Do you know them? How have you helped them? How have you listened to their ideas? So time is going to manage you. Because you don't know what you do, you keep rushing. Number 3, she's supposed to oversee all the teaching and learning programs in the school, and thereafter advises the head teacher accordingly. I was careful when I was picking my words. Oversee. Overseeing. To oversee, you see through people. Who are those people? Can you show me minutes of the class teachers? Do you have minutes of the heads of department? Do you have minutes of timetable evaluation? How do you see academics? Biology and ideology. And you tend to be very knowledgeable. We are moving a lot. We are doing a lot of work. Number 4. She's supposed to be chairperson of academic committee of the school. You chair and technically will give you answers. How do you do that? You go there and start gambling from there. You sweat, you shout, you move over the office. That's why I don't give you good attention when you come to my office, because you can't waste my time. I know you are not moving in the top. Number 5, together with concerned stakeholders, and I was clear, M&E, class teachers, and heads of department, that head academics is in total charge of effective monitoring of curriculum deliverance through schemes of work, timetable, teaching, learning process, record of work, record of marks, report making, update the office, and then update the office of the teacher from time to. Did I tell you that you go to class and start explaining our madness there? There are people, 50 plus, I have put before you to do this work. Yours is to organize them. Have you organized anything? Or every morning they see you in class doing this. When the class teachers, the heads of it, they're not anywhere. How would they can a director spend a week ngata meetings in department? Ngata meetings in class teachers. What are you going to advise the head teacher? And you come to the head teacher to Rumamong. Mr. Shadi, so if you can read into my face when you come there, I don't give you attention. Because you're telling me lies. It's not based on anything. You are failing to organize these people, you never have results, and you are impacting the learners. I want you to ask number 6. You are supposed to liaise, quote my words well. You are supposed to liaise with the heads of department, Shukuwanga for autonomy. I have never given you in any of these statements an independence. Ngugami, go through this. Wachi mani, once you go there alone, and you see the difference between administrators, leaders, and gamblers. Follow the instructions. I was liaise with the heads of departments and recommend to the head teacher the academic programs which will meet the needs of students and the requirements of the Ministry of Education, and you can't recommend to me the requirement because you are not. What can you recommend to me from biology? What can you recommend to me from chemistry? What can you recommend to me from physics? Being on top, you are not everything. And yes, Kwatagana. In a sense, when you are coming and there's a matter from biology, come as an expert. What you do, you will wake up. You say, Master, I resist your way. Because you're not an authority, you're a manager. Come with a technical. My questions are going to be asked. If we are to go by ministry, by government system, you will minister, the head of department is work permanent secretary. He's the most technical. Ministries which do not work, there must be issued between the minister and okubeera head of department kikufuula wakitalo director ofu tosobola kubeera waggulu w'abantu abo. You must humble yourself to their level. Ekintu kyonna ekyebbeeyi bakifukaamira. Did you know that? Ngaki? You can't bear people can have sex while studying. You must leave. These people, you must leave, and kneeling does not make a thing. You show the value of the service of the poor. Kati mwe, beba obukule mutamula mwala kona bantu. Tumujja kusobola. If you want to manage your lady very well, behave low. So you reach it somewhere, and the public sees you going down. What is happening to this big man? So I don't know some of these issues. But a champion now you must go down to get it. Are you getting it? Chovola, the ladies who are in affairs with boys, I mean, I don't know public money, there's some way to live from me. But they are arrogant men who can say we shall proceed while standing, or don't college. See, they will not live down. They are there. They will kill us. But they see. But that also depends on the size. The man could will be shorter, another one is what? Now, how will that procedure take place unless we give you an excuse to? So, people have their sharp corners where they wait for you. You are in the public, you abuse me, you do anything. But there is that time for you to apologize when you are needed. You cannot make me on that, no way that you are told enough. You cannot kneel, but you decide to proceed while standing. But that depends on that. So you know, you are not above the head of department. Probably naturally without head of department. I don't know whether you are hearing what I'm saying. Cut your power. Low a bit to tap from this person. Kubanga okukola omulimu gwo omwetaaga nnyo guli wa history. Correct? Kati, do you know the meaning of guiding these arrogant scientists? They were how they are arrogant. They ask you for cockroaches which are green in nature. As if they are there. Then what does this mean? That's what the confidential says, sir. I hear God saying that if you don't give me the money, you don't get it. But they say they should have the green wings. Now he's making you panic. Now that's why you now as a dose, you require a lot of attitude and management skills to manage these people. Now, you need this in every situation which is taken from Madam. My major instruction is this. The subject, the command is here. That's what you should look at. And this shows you the value of attaching the people who put last. And I've told them, liaise with this. The moment you go beyond my instructions, you are about to know. Teacher Mugama to meet him. How do you call him? Have schedules. I'll have a meeting, much of your work. Why do you think I gave you a big office? Because you are going to meet me. Thank you. Now, sometimes many of you have copied my being. You are getting pictures. When I come to office, you copy me what you know, pictures. You go for makeup, you go whatever. You won't take a Do you know? I'm not refusing you to be, but also make proper use when you go to a wedding. Every time she looks for all those very beautiful pictures. And when you come, there's no way you fail to see them. They make sure they will come you with a very nice rounding lipstick. Smile will come in. That's why she will attract you. She will attract many of you. See? But you see, obona okwatira ennyanja otega ekitimba naye okwatiramu n'enkula oyinza okukwatiramu omusota ogenda okukyangira omusota mukulumi. So I have given you big offices for meetings. Come when I gave him the office, he thought I gave him the bed. Very expensive chairs, you find him sleeping. Those chairs. Those chairs were from my office. You go to Nakasi. The children are everywhere. Other people's children are not important, but hers. That was also my office. And the furniture which is there was also mine. The one which was also mine. I gave her the office. Big as it is, she has copied. I told you the influence. The pictures, you go there. Many times you get influenced Abibere yabitandika when she came to my office she said nino omuntu omugwe omanyi yafera omwana we n'asomera omwana omulungi yasomera. Do you know that person? So you copy what you can afford, but use the offices appropriate, not as attracting amaroba gaita ubutimbo obuvuba. What? Fishing nets. Don't use them as fishing nets to attract people to fall into your viziba. If you have them anyway. But the point is, Madam, I also told you, liaise with the head of department and the examinations department to provide leadership in the development of internal examinations. I will not damage again to get a most. Mbaku Gambi, it examination committee, never heads of department, mukore program, ya internal chief. They are so called education, they are meaning education. The issue is the plan, and how are you making it? If you don't involve these people, they will fold their hands. Never make them idle. Napoleon said in his words, kiss a lady so that she loves you so much. What did Napoleon mean? You must keep your woman busy to show that you love her. That's the same application to these people. That please involve them. Liaise with the heads of department. Liaise with the examination department. Or providing but my command is clear. Have a schedule. When are you going to have this meeting? You come to the headmaster with a brief summary of the minutes. We met on this day with the foreign people. We looked at this. That's to get ABCD. You are now providing what we call team work, and at the top of it, there is a team. Sikugambye wesibire mu nju okole weka fulo tosobola kumanaginga somo nange sisobola bwomu atate ku obwongo bwabwe. If for me, I cannot manage it alone. Where do you get the brain you to manage it alone? And where do you get time to gossip? We never have reading, about providing guidance, Bakuwa, providing a young money, you must have remembered Chiroshigani, no ABCD attitude. And time is going to manage you, not you to manage time. Another one, I've told you to liaise, and government will take the rule, madam. Commanding and History Soccer. Liaise with the head of department and submit orders for supplies, instruction materials, equipment, chemicals, and ABCD. Where do you get the power to give me the orders you see? Certainly, if the head of department sit with them at the beginning, let them have their plans, as I said. Instead of planning all practical ways this time, this is one value ways. Our chemistry in practical ways. Our biology practical ways. If you go better, this compile them, through them, forward them, to process them in time. Not waiting the headmaster at a day when the paper is for tomorrow and you come without the go face we need practical secure. Yes, Osama, Guagola orders the chemistry or Somali. Guasaba orders the physics, so would regulate that and come. Several Evangel, Agalia Wamugechi. Eri musajja abeera w'amaanyi mu maka okujjako ng'alina a very resourceful lady. never sending as you. That lady you see, if she does not organize the home with the children, you cannot manage. Inze kaka oyo ne bantu mu katale nsobola okubanga sina kyenguzeyo neki wasina byemanyi bagulaki. But I can give them money. But the point is, we need teamwork. What do we face here? I even don't know where they sell shoes. Some people I have in the company must give me now this money, but don't you see the open shoes? I am there. Because the company must advise me so they are not very heavy and whatever. And they will tell you, sir, you must have the shoes for a minimum of 8 hours. And have open instructions. Because there's someone who is understanding for you. When you see me not coming, conclude. He doesn't take time. My friend, I'm running a delegated point system. You have more than enough without me the school can. If only anybody can be the docket. Onetaka kuba ngalo ngokole milimo as the head of department. Operation usema kulenga. Why do you blame me on issue of time? I tell myself, what if 4 years and you think I don't know where you're going? That's why when I come here, I tell you, I'm going to address you for 6 to 7 hours. So this point, madam, when we are talking about orders, no two departments. Zivamuchi, plans. Head of department, I know Mama, she is a master of her inventory. I'm going to practical because it's scheme here because it will be following, isn't it? I'm going to now identifying how many practicals shall we have in the 9 weeks? How much do we have in the lab? Now for summer now no local requisition on top as well. So see the way for omega offer. Kubino nebi twigamba tunacho manyiko. You only need people. What you get about needing people and knowing them. There is a teacher here you talk about. I was his number for 3 years as a department head. And you don't think that Namridu has been the way she has been today. You become patient until when you see that now I can't fail. You become like him because by the time the Mkazi want to have a strategy, either one of them, and whatever. Wasuka, plan away you put her down, and she's always there. So, mark my instructions. Point 10. Oversee the work of the assistant director for academics, heads of department, class teachers, and students at large. Now we're going to be a head of department. Over what? How do you oversee that? Ask for the reports in frequent meetings with them. So that you are able to link and tell your head, something is this. Listen to every one of them under your department. Listen. As I told you from the attitude, the only thing you need to do if you want to be one of them, a lead, a manager, administrator, please intensify the listening. But the decision is yours because you are square responsible. Kembamba uliza. Nemusinga nanga nkoze kirala. Kubanga oluusi kiyinza okuba nga tukwataganya ebitembo ki? Which is not an offense. That's my view. Endala. Be responsible for the general school teaching, learning, and evaluation. Don't tell me the head of department did ABCD. Did you plan? Which can okola ki? Olitolako weka, nominator. That's why you have poor towards the end of the end or discussed. You have not involved them. But if you start in a meeting, you agree, you divide yourselves, so and so to ABCD, so and so, and everybody is responsible. You do things on time, you don't sweat a lot, you bring the report, and when I move around, I know you involve something, teamwork. Because one of your biggest challenges is to work as a team. Another one, watch my command. Together with the Office of Monitoring and Evaluation, the Director of Academics is required to check on attendance of lessons and other academic programs. There is a correlation because she gives me a report on that and you give me a report to avoid contradiction. Have harmony. How do I get you? I receive 2 reports at the same time. And I find them contradicting. And I say there's something wrong. Just like she gives me something and I go back and I find the conflicting something. I have never given you an independent role without a person to help you. Your role is to be head, to follow them, to guide them, to do something, to oversee, to make sure. Now you only have to have this and draw your schedule for the week. And when you come, you know what you're supposed to do and do the things for the week. You move out. Another one, you are supposed to liaise, madam, these are not mistakes, to liaise with the monitoring and evaluation and head of department to organize internal and external seminars and workshops. I saw your position, 1 million something for seminars. Nakugamba, have meetings, the seminar series. Program where you pull n'abantu abanyanyiri seminar. Bebali taking mukole program where mukole bali yayo mubireti. I show you and you know what, because there is no supporting document in that. Oboja kunkozesa ensobi. For people to think we want to win. What happens is these people, when they see work with the person a lot, they start saying, we want to win namugamba ki. Twamuleba kukuta. If I have any, then he must be somewhere else, not here. One you all belong to me. But the moment you want to make it singular, or you want to win, you must be somewhere else. So, what exactly am I telling them? You throw more light.
Starting they are trying to show that everybody, your objective, everybody is under you, and you handle all of us equally, not subjectively. That's what I've understood.
Yes, we want it. The point is, management. When you come management, avoid cases is okay. If you want to do something, make it transparent. Speak it in public. Be able to repeat it at that time. The moment these people have micromanagement, he comes to your office and squeezes you alone, and you accept something and you come in public to speak, you are not doing a team. This is your problem. You are going to remember. You should not have public. You don't need to be Sina chama management. We did this, and then I tell you. So, please, our learning program, where are the heads of department here? Do you have them? I have a learning official. They are not good. It is showing up. Over that. I want to have a new singing in the You cannot move in the stage. Another one, Raniero 13. To react with monitoring and evaluation, head of department to organize this one and finish, but combine a weekly, monthly, and term report to the office of the head teacher, Zeno, or Zidja, Mubantua, we go right there, then put a minute, no put a one that is really will not involve them, I will not give you attention. You are heading a directorate, not a department. What they will want. I know Kuyamba, Okolagana, Riaz, Kwatagana, Kolanono, to see that they have the chief, Ruachi, we don't want them and capacity. And then also, any other duty here, of liaising with the heads of department and class teachers, in the allocation of classes and lessons to teachers. That's what I took about. Thank you, head of departments. See you. Class allocation. Putting a teacher in class. Go with the class teacher and the head of department. Mukilase no tekeyani, bano baba mani kusinga, no busobozi baba mani, na everything as we're talking about. And there they are. Have you seen anything contrary to the head of department? Have you seen anything contrary to the class teacher? The head of school reserves the right to assign you any other duty, and you perform it on his behalf. Out of this, I can send you to represent me. I can send any one of you that I feel that is outside this and calls for anything in that case. Are we together? Let me see those ones who deputize her and see whether they have any related duties. Some of you already said the head of school is busy. One of my roles is to plan for the institution. And by allocating duties, who can do this and the rest can even not for woman and also not she runs his mouth. I told you it is easy to be a good performer under somebody. And you may be given a stage and have okay, proceed. ABC.
We are surprised for the parent.
Are you in the store?
It's calling me to pick them from the person as well.
You call Mliko?
No, therefore, the directorate.
You don't have any receiving document. I have spent 1.5 on the order. You don't have the stamp. You don't have the goods receiving note. That's where you go wrong.
Let me call her.
You see, that's why these people never gone in America biology and kakati dala. Madam Dina yenda kababula kabi. Apa kupanga babere kurisibe kati abilesa gina muwachi. The procedure of supply you have delivered, this man again more goods received in order. At signing a go, at stamping a go. You take up a payment to vote here, evaluation. Or he again a deliver in note. At signing a go, at receiving. Only Takubuza. Did you have any duty from your duties? Is he receiving goods in the school? Did you perform within your duties? Was the voter supported? You raise an antiquity. Do you think people they take them to reserve because they are sorry? Procedure. I want to go to my ministry. You know, Mugamba. If science here, so what could no Mugamba, should this people make a mistake? What is your fallback position? Or why don't you know, we said master. Or what are those? Technical devices in Ayaka. Maybe you want to go to the cinema. We could time about it. Who has messed up the master? Oh, you friends. I am saying liaise with the technical person, with the head of the department. I will let you know, I can verifying it. I am the technical person, teaching. When they bring things like this, see how it is. We have a full storage. Namiaro and this young man who are trained and they have the stamp, they have the documentation. Maybe not to that money. There is vision in opposite good to the money. Katugina receiving guys. You fail to thank God for so many things. Mfacho jobu ile mimi yale tutemie mwalimu anataka kusaidia mimi. Mwami yeye mchini mugamba atufekao yabirese amanyi procedure. I sent to Taya, how can Taya give you instructions to contact suppliers? One of the reasons we don't want to employ. Where the assistant director said it. We have them. Where's the other? I didn't want to come in. Where are your assistants, madam?
They are around. There is Madam.
I want to see them physically.
Mr. Mr. Pata was around. Where are you? Was around.
After lunch, you never come back. After eating, you disappeared. I just pray. No. Bring him. I have not seen him after lunch. Nitaka mkoli.
Now, let me show you where the danger is. Can I show you where the danger is? You suddenly don't see. There is where we waste the resource. To be a DOS, a stand DOS, must be at the level of an education officer. If you don't have a degree, then you are carrying a risk. Because you are wasting a lot of time to train somebody who cannot take over from this person. You must build government. To be a DOS, a director, in this case, you must be government work. Katrina, the person you are looking for. The question would be, would he be able to be head of physics? No. Why? A waste of training, because you're not in government. To take you on. And if you could that we have a challenge with human resource. You would look for who to give a head. You look for who to train capable of being those. And now they are not there. So what happens? Because leadership comes up with a command. If you are having a diploma, can you command the person? You take what are you talking about? I know more than you see how the success borrow. Now, what do you learn there? You look among the department heads who can be understand this. When you're making these appointments, their calculations, their puzzles, at one more resource in West Yamba, that's all a come take away, Ngatubulidwa. Why? We not to come qualifications are competence one saying, one, you must be this. First of all, I could be that those must know. You know. You are below an education officer. To the extent that even if Daniel becomes a deputy tomorrow, to take over, have experience of what he has. It helps about time. One experience that Dina is an education officer, is on government, you get. Kakati, when a yellow goes, competent person in Castle demonstrate easy. To what I will know Mufiapo, in Tiabamu, or Mukipi system. Now, yet, qualification was in experience in government, competence, and the lab. So, whatever, those systems are saying no problem. But you see, under succession plans, the more that you come and say to work, but not saying this woman, you miss in a class, you must graduate in next months. Why prepare for the future? What are the qualities and what are the duties of assistant director of study? But listen to my command, they are here. Their role is to assist the director of who? Academics in conduct of who? But in matters, to assistant those